to talk a little bit about this book. Princess, I'm gonna read from it. I don't know. Yeah. Let's read from it. This is about a girl who is from Saudi Arabia. It's so good so far. I'm like this way done, and I am going to talk or read about it. So I'm going to do a little expert. I had just finished once her dad, she's going to marry this guy, forced to marry this guy after her palm has been read that said that she was going to marry this guy that was good or not good for her. Okay, so I'm going to read a part of this, and it's going to only be a short part. Karen. Much to my father's amazement and to my bitter disappointment, Karen's family did not break off our engagement. Instead, Karen and his father arrived at father's office the following week and politely asked that Karen be allowed to meet me under proper supervision, of course. Karen had heard of my unorthodox behavior with his relatives and was decisively curious to discover that if I was completely mad or just high-spirited. Father had not responded to my early entreaty to meet with Karen, but a request from the man's family was a difficult matter. After discussing the issue at length with several of the family aunties and my sister Nora, Father gave a favorable reply to Karen's request. Wild with joy, I danced around the room when Father told me the news. I was going to meet the man I would marry before I married him. My sisters and I were electrified, for it was not done in our society. We were prisoners who felt the ever-present chains of tradition lighten. Karen's parents and my father and Nora decided that Karen and his mother would come out to our villa in 2 weeks' time for an afternoon tea. Karen and I would be chaperoned by Nora, Sarah, 2 of my aunties, and his mother. With this possibility of control of my life on the horizon, hope was born, a fantasy I dared not imagine only yesterday. I found myself excited and wondered if I would find Karen to my taste. Then I was struck with a new and unpleasant thought. Perhaps Karen would not like me. Oh, how I wanted to be beautiful like Sarah, so that men's hearts would throb with desire. Now I stood for hours gazing at the mirror, cursing my small stature, twisting my short, unruly curls. My nose seemed too large for my face. My eyes had no luster. Perhaps it was best to hide me under a veil until the night of the wedding. Sarah chuckled at my agony and tried to reassure me. Men loved petite women, particularly ones with small, upturned noses and smiling eyes. Nora, whose opinion everyone respected, said laughingly, as I was considered very pretty by all women in the family. I had just never pursued beauty. Perhaps the time had come for me to enhance my assets. Suddenly consumed with yearnings to be considered for a desirable woman, I told Father I had nothing to wear, for even though we Saudi women reel on the streets, our dark coverings are discarded the moment we enter the home of a female friend. Since we cannot awe those of the opposite sex, other than our husbands, with our careful selected fashions, we females attempt to dazzle each other. Here we really do dress for other women. For instance, women in my country will arrive at an afternoon tea party carefully dressed in light lace and satin, with their garments tastefully accended by a display of priceless diamonds and rubies. Many of my foreign friends have been stunned by the flawed jean necklines and skimpy clothing hidden under our dainty abayas. I have been told that we Saudi women resemble bright exotic birds with our choice of attire under our black veils and abayas. Without a doubt, we women in black take more time and effort with our individual clothing under our cloaks than do Western women, who are free to flaunt their fashionable clothes. Father delighted that I was displaying an interest in marriage. He thought I would disrupt relented to my pleas. Nora and her husband traveled with me to London for a 3-day shopping spree at Harrods. I took great pains to tell the Harrods saleslady that I was going to meet my fiancé the following week. Just because I was a Saudi princess, I did not want them to assume I was without choices in my life. I felt disappointed that no one expressed awe or surprise at my proud announcement. For those who are free cannot fathom the value of small victory for those who live on a tether. While in London, Nora arranged for me to have a cosmetic makeover and a wardrobe color chart prepared. When told that emerald green was my most flattering shade, I brought 17 outfits in one color. My unruly hair was pulled back in a smooth twist, and I stared in delicious wonder at the sophisticated stranger in the storefront windows as I walked through the shopping districts in London. Sarah and Marcy helped me dress on the day of the party. I alternately cried and cursed at the impossibility of duplicating my London hairstyle when Hutter suddenly appeared at my bedroom door. "Beware!" she cried, her eyes narrowing swift. "First you will know happiness, but then unhappiness will come with your new husband." I threw my hairbrush at her and loudly told her not to spoil my day with her gibberish. Sarah twisted my ear and told me to be ashamed of myself. Hutter was just an old woman. My consequence did not hurt me at all, and I told Sarah so. Sarah replied that the reason was that I did not have a conscience. We sulked with each other until the gate bell rang, and she hugged me and said I looked lovely in my emerald green dress. I was actually going to see my future husband in the flesh. The sound of my pounding heart filled my ears. Feeling all eyes on me watching for my reaction made me blush, which was ruining the sophisticated entrance I had planned. Oh, to return to the safety of my childhood. I had no need for such emotion. Not only was Karam the most handsome man I have ever seen, his sensationless eyes caressed my every move and made me feel quite the loveliest creature on earth. Within minutes of our strained introduction, I knew that he would never call off our engagement. I discovered in myself a surprising hidden talent, one that is most helpful to women who must manipulate to achieve their goals. I learned I was a natural flirt. With the greatest of ease, I found myself pursing my lips and looking at Karam through his lower lids. My imagination soared. Karam was only one of the many suitors. Karam's mother was watching me closely in obvious distress at my vampish maneuverisms. Sarah, Nora, and my aunties were exchanging pained looks, but Karam was hypnotized, and nothing else mattered. Before Karam and his mother left, he asked if he could call me on the telephone one evening later in the week to discuss our wedding plans. I scandalized my aunties by failing to ask their permission first, and replied, "Of course, any time after 9 would be all right." I gave Karam a womanly smile of promise when he said goodbye. I hummed my favorite tune, a Liz Bandry love ballad. As Nora, Sarah, and my aunties told me in great detail every wrong move I had made. They declared that Karen's mother was sure to insist the wedding would be called off, since I had practically seduced her son with my eyes and lips. I had told them that they were all jealous because I had the chance to see my husband before the wedding. I struck my tongue out at my aunties and told them that they were too old to understand the beatings of young hearts. I left them standing wide-eyed in shock at my audacity. Then I locked myself in the bathroom and began to sing at the top of my lungs. So that is it. So enjoy. I hope you enjoyed that reading. See you later. Bye. Bye.